The mood of the divine child. Ramakrishna breaks his arm. As Mahendra enters the room, humility radiates from his very pores. He prostrates full length before the Parahamsa. Mahendra's noble face with large eyes, graced by the long beard of an ancient Indian rishi, a seer of truth, is full of concern. His impressive figure melts entirely into devotion as his forehead lightly touches Ramakrishna's feet. He is bringing a fresh white cloth to change the sling on our master's arm. Some days previously, the Paramahamsa, retiring as usual to the remote pine grove to answer the call of nature, unexpectedly entered ecstasy. He fell on his left arm, yet felt the intense pain of the break only when his mind returned to relative awareness. Usually, someone attends the sage wherever he may wander in the large temple garden, in order to prevent just such an occurrence. But Ramakrishna dismissed his attendant at the edge of the grove. It is the only area of personal privacy that remains in his daily existence. Since this injury, the great swan has remained constantly in a childlike state, passionately inquiring of everyone who enters his room why he broke his arm and how to assuage the pain. The serious-minded young Rakal is unable to be patient with this openly childlike behavior, considering it unseemly for a God-realized sage, who is traditionally viewed as beyond both physical pain and mental distress. Others among the companions of divine love look upon this event as Mother Kali's way of teaching us that her miraculous child, her emanation, is fully human, completely vulnerable, and utterly dependent upon her inscrutable will. Ramakrishna is free from the self-satisfaction of the adept who considers himself above and beyond the universe and its suffering beings. He calls this subtle sense of superiority the ego of knowledge. The blissful sage of Dakshineswar has even transcended sagehood. After inquiring briefly about Mahendra's health and his difficult family situation, Ramakrishna, unable to control his emotion, bursts into tears. If I am merely an instrument, operated by the omnipotent Mother of the universe, why should part of this instrument have been broken? The most reticent disciple does not venture any reply, but concentrates on renewing the sling around the injured arm, bound by a splint. The childlike Paramahamsa winces and cries out with pain, even at the most delicate touch of Mahendra. When this process is finally completed, Ramakrishna complains like a 5-year-old of being terribly hungry and asks Mahendra whether he has brought any delicacies from Calcutta. Rakal is trying to be patient with the situation. His brooding expression is intense and very beautiful. Ramakrishna glances at his spiritual son and immediately enters samadhi, lost in the ocean of divine intensity and divine beauty. Gradually returning to the perception of space, time, and individuation, the divine child begins to repeat, "I want to eat sweet jalebi and drink cool water." Beginning to sob like a small boy, he converses with Goddess Kali, "Mother, Mother, Mother, O Brahma Mai, O dream power of the Absolute, why have you done this to me? My left arm is seriously injured, you know? Turning to the seekers of truth seated on the floor, some of whom are astounded to witness the great sage in such a childlike mood, the Paramahamsa pleads, O friends, please tell me that I will be all right again, that the pain will disappear, that I will be able to offer flowers with the left hand, sacred to the wisdom goddess. We all murmur consolations and assurances as one would to a suffering child. Ramakrishna, tears streaming down his cheeks, requests his dear companion, Adhar, to stroke his feet. The companions are accustomed to the physical nakedness of the Paramahamsa when he dances, without restraint, and the wearing cloth falls from his radiant, amber-colored body, but this emotional nakedness is very unsettling. We experience anew our own childlike vulnerability, our complete dependence on the mother's will. Listening to the Paramahamsa crying for her, a surprising new intimacy with the Divine Mother begins to unfold within our being. Suddenly, the great swan chants aloud the mystic seed syllable that invokes formless, attributeless reality. 3 times it rings out with deep resonance. Om. The atmosphere of the room is instantly elevated to the most rarefied plane of awareness. Every mote of dust is fully charged with divine presence. We begin to dissolve into luminous space. Ramakrishna is also surprised by this sudden thunderbolt of transcendent knowledge. Ramakrishna, O blissful Kali, why are you causing me to meditate on the primordial Om? Mother, please do not plunge me into your formless ocean of consciousness. Do not absorb me into the state of Brahmanyana, your subjectless, objectless awareness. Mother, I want to make merry with the lovers. I want to play. Keep me simply as your child. From this blessed state, I can adore you, plead with you, complain to you. A small child is easily frightened and desperately needs its mother. I long only for my Divine Mother. Her alone do I need. With all due respect to the transcendent knowledge of the Vedantic sages, I do not desire it. Mother, please give that kind of dispassionate knowledge and invulnerability to the proud adepts who seek it. Grant me only pure love for you. I long desperately for your presence, for your smile, for your touch. O you who are composed of sheer bliss, O Anandamayi Ma, O blissful Mother. Repeating again and again this most beautiful epithet of the goddess, Anandamayi Ma, tears streaming from his reddened eyes, the Paramahamsa, unable to lift his voice in psalm because of physical pain, recites the cry of complaint to Kali, composed a century before by the inspired goddess worshipper Ram Prasad. O glorious Mother Kali, listen to the complaint that rages in my heart, even though I am wide awake, knowing that you alone exist, even with the guidance and protection of your omniscience and omnipotence. The deceitful robbers called ordinary conceptions and emotions have entered the house of my mind to steal my precious treasure, pure love and pure devotion. Somewhat calmed by Ram Prasad's song, at least no longer sobbing uncontrollably. Ramakrishna continues to speak directly with the black goddess. What did I do wrong, Mother? I do not even perform any action at all. You alone are the sole initiator of activity for the entire universe. I am the instrument, you the sole wielder of the instrument. Turning suddenly toward Rakal, the master opens wide his half-closed eyes and speaks in a mood of penetrating sobriety. Ramakrishna, I know that you are plagued by limited views of what is proper behavior. Please do not defraud yourself with trivial considerations, my dear. Let us all weep with abandon at the way these deceitful robbers, these common habitual assumptions, have broken into our house. They steal away with the inestimable treasure of ecstatic love, without even being able to understand or enjoy what they have stolen. The Parahamsa now begins to play like a convalescent child who has momentarily forgotten his delicate condition. Soon he has the room filled with laughter by his naughty antics, mimicking and teasing everyone, both verbally and with hilarious gestures. As the sage frolics about, Mahendra has to repeat constantly, "Sir, please be careful. Remember your injured arm." Just as unexpectedly, Ramakrishna enters the mood of wisdom. We no longer perceive a child before us, but a God-realized master of the highest stature and refinement. He addresses us with profound earnestness. Ramakrishna, O friends of truth, none of your meditative disciplines will be of any ultimate value unless you realize directly here and now, before continuing even one step further along the path, that Akhanda Satchidananda alone exists, that you simply are indivisible being, consciousness, and bliss, that Mother performs all action, including your own acts of devotion and meditation. Your aspiration to realize truth is simply God longing for God. Constantly discriminate with the sharpest, most uncompromising accuracy between your ordinary assumptions about the world, about yourselves, about God, and the actual truth, which is total unity, all-encompassing oneness, perfect simplicity. Discriminating this way, with illumined intellect and opened heart, do not hesitate to renounce your assumptions and obsessions moment by moment. Absolutely nothing can substitute for this constant process of discrimination and renunciation. Not pilgrimage, not prayers, not meditation, not even ecstasy or divine grace. Without discrimination and renunciation, the energy of your prayer or your ecstasy will be momentary, like a sizzling drop of water on a red-hot iron pan, all sound and no substance. The aspirant who is still enslaved by conventional thinking, whether personal, social, or religious, may experience the flow of divine grace for a few seconds, perhaps when contemplating the beauty of a flower or sensing the awesomeness of a sacred shrine. But moments later, habitual thought and perception return to the falsely assumed existence of impurity, negativity, division, separation. True contemplative practice cannot be carried on just a few moments or a few hours at a time. An insatiable restlessness, a dynamic longing to merge completely with divine reality, must surge from the center of your being while waking or sleeping, working or playing. There should be no procrastination, no waiting for some supposedly proper or auspicious time, either later in this life, in paradise, or in some future incarnation. If a beloved son or daughter continues to insist on receiving his or her share of the ancestral land, loving parents will eventually respond, transferring the deed even though the youth may still be a legal minor. God will certainly respond to your prayers for illumination if you experience intense restlessness to return consciously to your own original source through intimate communion and radical union. Divine Presence brings us forth from itself and as itself. We can claim here and now our just inheritance, our birthright of unity. God is our spiritual Father and Mother, fused as one reality. If our knowledge of unity is strong enough, we can insist, even demand. I used to cry desperately, "Reveal yourself to me, O Mother, O Supreme Reality, or I will take my own life." In a less extreme spiritual mood, one can pray tenderly to the great Goddess, "O blissful Mother, you alone are able to awaken your child into truth. You who protect every creature as a spark of your own life must recognize this child too, as composed solely of your radiance. I have not received transcendent knowledge from your bliss-bestowing hands. I have not developed mental discipline through long hours of worship and meditation. I do not experience the unquenchable fire of pure devotion. I am nothing. You alone exist. Please merge me consciously into your reality." A luminous silence reigns. Tears fill our eyes as we gradually understand that the Master is initiating us into his own rare mode of intimate, prayerful, childlike longing. All proud sense of self-effort, self-discipline, or even self-realization disappears from our hearts. Only Mother's grace remains. Here is the secret to complete renunciation. Shaking his right fist and kicking both feet against the bed exactly like a small child having a tantrum, Ramakrishna is now calling out again to divine reality, "Mother, I cannot live without you, not even for an instant.